Are you thinking about selling your home, but you're not sure if now is the right time? Are you asking yourself, is it a good time to sell my home, or should I wait for the market to improve? Or what if rates drop later this year? But here's the truth, no matter the season, there's opportunity to sell your house. In this video, we're going to break down why timing isn't everything and how supply and demand dynamics in your market can actually work in your favor year-round. We'll go over how the market shifts through the seasons, what changes and what doesn't, and the pros and cons of selling in both the summer and the winter months. It's a common belief that spring and summer are the only good times to sell. But that's really not how real estate works. What actually drives your home's value and the likelihood of it selling is supply and demand. If there are more buyers than homes available, it's a seller's market, no matter what month it is. And if inventory is low, even in the middle of the winter, motivated buyers are still out there, usually competing for the few good houses that are on the market. So rather than focusing on the season, it's much smarter to focus on both the market dynamics and the things that you can control to sell your home. One of the biggest myths in real estate, that you have to sell in the summer to get the best results. I get it. Summer feels busy, homes show better with green lawns and blue skies, and families are trying to move before the school year starts. But here's the truth. The market doesn't care what season it is. What really matters is supply and demand and your local competition, not the temperature outside. In winter, yes, there's going to be fewer buyers, but there are also way fewer homes for them to choose from. And those winter buyers, they're usually really serious. They're relocating, downsizing, or have a real need to move. Early in my career, I showed a buyer several homes in January with a foot of snow on the ground. We climbed the steps of a split-level house not knowing where the steps actually were. And those buyers had a baby on the way, and it was critical that they found a house to bring their daughter home to. I've seen homes like the one they purchased sell for top dollar in January, and I've also seen homes sit in July because they were overpriced or not well presented. In the summer, there's more buyer activity, but also more listings to compete with. That means to sell, your home has to stand out even more to win attention. And if you want to make sure your home is getting that attention, if you go into our bio, there's a Prep for Profit quiz. It's free, it's customized, and it'll show you exactly where to focus your time and money before you list. So whether you're a few weeks or a few months away from selling, or even a few years away from selling, this will give you a clear game plan to get top dollar. And what we know is that the season doesn't necessarily determine your success. Strategy does. Pricing it right, preparing it by using the quiz, and knowing exactly what's happening in your neighborhood, that's what sells homes. So once your home is prepped, the next thing we turn to is called months of inventory. And this is one of the most misunderstood metrics in real estate. When you hear the phrase, is it a buyer's market or a seller's market, this is the number we're actually referring to. So what is months of inventory? It tells us how long it would take to sell every home currently on the market if no new homes were listed. It's basically a measure of how quickly buyers are absorbing or eating up the available homes. So generally speaking, 0 to 3 months of inventory means we have a strong seller's market. Homes are selling fast, there aren't very many options for buyers, and the competition is fierce. 4 to 5 months, that's what we like to call normal territory. That is more of a balanced market where neither side is going to have a really strong upper hand. And then we move towards 6 months or more of inventory, that's shifting into a buyer's market. Homes sit on the market longer and buyers have more room to negotiate. So when we say buyers are absorbing listings quickly, that's a sign of a hot market. And if homes are sitting and inventory builds up, that's a slowdown. So the best time to sell isn't on a calendar. There are times when months of inventory are low during the winter months, but high during the summer months. So supply and demand does not always coincide with the seasons. And here's something most sellers don't hear often enough. Even in a strong buyer's market, your home sale isn't completely based on market dynamics. It hinges on how well your home competes. Yes, supply and demand matters. Yes, timing can play a role. But if your home shows better, feels better, and is priced right, it becomes the best option available, and that's what buyers are looking for. Think about it from the buyer's perspective. They're scrolling through listings, maybe touring a few homes. What stands out? The home that feels clean, cared for, and move-in ready, and that's what creates urgency. I've seen homes sell fast in so-called slow markets, not because the timing was perfect, but because the prep was. Fresh paint, decluttered rooms, simple upgrades, professional photos, that's what makes your home rise to the top of the list. You can't control interest rates, you can't control buyer behavior, but you can control how your home is perceived. And that often makes a bigger difference than the season you list in or how many other homes are out there. At the end of the day, selling your home isn't about chasing the perfect season. It's about creating the perfect opportunity for the right buyer. If you focus on preparation, presentation, and pricing, you can win in any market and in any season. So thanks for watching. And remember, if you're ready to get serious about selling, start with the Prep for Profit quiz. The link's in the bio, and I'll see you there.